In this video, we're going to continue our discussion of schematics with what I consider number 13. Again, it's a split system. The wiring appears to be a little bit different, but that's the whole point of these. Okay, your sequence of operation and basic components are all the same. They just have different wiring and different ways they are wired. It's like manufacturer carrier wires stuff different from Goodman, from Train, and it depends also on the model of the unit, what's there in terms of safety controls. Sometimes you don't see the pressure switches, sometimes you have additional pressure switches, and as we get into the more advanced units in the advanced air conditioning course, we're going to see different types of wiring. So this is the basics, but you have to be able to wire these regardless of what type of system you're on, because who knows if the tech before you did it right, and who knows if maybe all the wires burnt off a unit or something like that. Things happen. So you have to be able to follow these diagrams through, and you have to be able to convert them to ladder diagrams. So let's take a look at this unit from a wiring perspective. We actually have 3 different components in here, and these all have to be treated individually. Okay, so let me take a quick color change here, and I'm going to draw a delineation between the 3 units. I'm just going to use the cyan coloring here to draw this delimitation. Okay, we have a thermostat. Okay, we have an indoor unit and an outdoor unit. Okay, so again, when you look at this picture, the cyan lines are not wiring. Okay, this is actually just a differentiation between the different units. Okay, so I have my thermostat, which is in the house. Okay, and let's just label that so you can see it. I have my air handler. This may be in an attic or a basement or a closet sometimes. And I have my condenser. Okay, that's going to be like an outdoor unit. Okay, so those are my 3 different units. So where we always want to make sure we do is all of our wiring from the thermostat comes back to the air handler. All of our low voltage wiring from the outdoor unit comes back to the air handler. That's our junction point. Okay, so let's go ahead and wire that in. We never run directly from the thermostat to the condenser. So let's see what we can do about wiring this in. We know that I have to feed my red wire, my R terminal from my thermostat. Okay, comes off of my transformer. Okay, secondary. So let's wire that in first. Okay, now we're going to change colors just so you can see more realistic. I'm going to pull my Y wire off my thermostat. Okay, and my Y wire's gonna come down to my, actually, Y wire's gonna come down, and we are then gonna take it over out of my air handler. We're going to take it over to my contactor outside. Okay, I'm not going to forget about my G. Okay, my G terminal on my thermostat. Let's get that wired in before we forget about it. Okay, my G terminal on my thermostat. I'm going to bring over to my indoor fan relay coil. Now, every one of these coils has to have a common that comes back to my transformer. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use brown wire for my common in this case. Okay. Oops. Why didn't that change? Okay, so I'm going to use brown wire for my common. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wire it in. Okay, then I do unfortunately need to cross over here because I need to bring a common there. So again, all of my junction points are in my air handler if you look at this. That's my low voltage. Actually, you know what? We need to put that pressure switch in. That works better. Okay. That's why I like using different colors, because if you miss something, you can see it relatively fast. Okay, that's my low voltage side. So let's look at my line voltage side in my air handler. Okay, I'm going to use L2 is going to be black. L1 will probably use blue. So I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to connect in my L2 there. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and connect in L2 there as well. Okay, coming out of here, we're going to make that wire blue. And I'm going to come out of my normally open, which is pin 3. And I'm going to connect into my evaporator fan motor. And I like showing a very clear connection. Okay, see anything I missed on the line voltage side? Not really. I'm not entirely happy with how close that is, so let's go ahead and pull this and just make a connection. I want to show very clearly that's two separate wires. Okay, now let's take a look at my condenser side. Again, I'm going to use, we didn't connect that in. Might help if we give it some power. So let's go ahead and give some power here. Sometimes easy to miss a terminal. Got to go back and double check everything, just as you do in the field. Okay, we're going to do L1. Again, start there, run there. Okay, start is my higher ohms, run is my terminal with the dot if it's there. Sometimes it's just marked H and F for hermetic, which is my compressor. F is condenser fan. Okay, so T1 I'm just going to bring down and use as my common, because again it's AC, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's use those as my common. Okay, and then we're going to change to black wire colors. For that other side, just to make sure we don't confuse things. Okay, so let's go ahead and put L1 in. And then we're going to go ahead and do L2. Come out of T2. And again, tie in my T2. We're just going to go ahead and use that as a junction point there. Actually, you know what? Make my junction point there. Okay, so we now have a wired condenser, air handler, and thermostat. Okay, we do have a safety in there. We have a high pressure and a low pressure switch that cuts out the condenser if we have a problem with refrigerant pressures. Condensers 240, air handlers 240. This is a very frequent setup if you do not have a furnace like a gas or oil furnace. Okay, if it's just a straight AC system or a heat pump system. And from here, it just, as we build, more and more components come on. But this is the basic system. Okay, for a ladder diagram, we've seen this before. It's the same ladder diagram, okay, as we've had in a couple of our other. We still have our condenser fan, compressor. We have a dual pressure switch. We have a contactor. Okay, we have our indoor fan relay, indoor fan motor. And it's the same schematic that we've seen before. Same sequence of operation. Hopefully that helps a little and makes some sense. So, okay, important to realize what schematics are and how they work and how to read the different schematics.